10:30 here. Want to welcome everyone to the Kentucky Affordable Housing Trust Fund's Advisory Committee meeting here for July the 26th. Do we need to record this, or is somebody recording this? We're just taking notes. Hello. We're recording. Okay, good deal. All right. So at this time, I want to go ahead and confirm a quorum of individuals. Do we have a head count?
Carla, if you're speaking, you're on mute.
Thanks, Wendy.
Do you think we have a quorum, or are we still waiting on a few people?
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 members. Well, Adrian will be joining, but she's on a webinar right now. So when she joins, we will have 5. I think there is. I show, of course, Steve, Eileen, Travis, Senator Higdon. Well, I show him going to be present, but I haven't seen him come on board.
He just joined.
Senator Higdon and Adrian, which will be joining. So I haven't heard from Kathy or Jennifer Smith or Abdul or Mary Lou. So we still have several that have not joined yet.
Carla, with the addition of Senator Higdon, do we have a quorum?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, we will not, even when Adrian joins.
Good morning, ladies.
Hey, Jimmy.
Good morning, Jimmy.
Good morning.
Well, I guess we can proceed, but not vote on the minutes, I guess, Carla?
Yes, we can go ahead and do that. And then if someone joins, we can go ahead and, readdress it.
Okay, and are we just down to 1 additional person is what we're needing?
Yes, when Adrian joins, and then we'll need another one.
We'll need another one from there. Okay.
Yes,
All right, so next item we have is confirmation of the press release.
Yes, sir, a press release has been processed.
Excellent. All right. Next item we have on the agenda is the approval of the minutes.
So we'll have to come back to that because since we don't have a quorum right now.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. And then next up, we will have our introductions. We'll go around the I guess the proverbial table here. Again, my name is Steve Coleman. I'm with Republic Bank, and I am the committee chair.
I'm Travis Yates, and I'm with Beacon. So far.
I'll jump in there. Jimmy Higdon, Kentucky State Senate.
Welcome. Okay.
And I don't know where we are on the screen, so I'll jump in.
Yeah,
my name is Kay McAfee. I'm with Housing Policy and Administration. I'm, of course, in the office of Deputy Wendy Smith. Wendy, you're on mute.
Every time. I'm Wendy Smith, Deputy Executive Director at Kentucky Housing Corporation.
Ms. Ward, you're on mute. Eileen, you're on mute.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm Eileen Ward. I'm with the Kentucky Department of Veterans Affairs.
Okay. And I think we got one more.
Carla Hale, Kentucky Housing Corporation.
There we go. Okay. Good deal. All right. Anybody else that hasn't introduced themselves today?
I can jump in there. Jessica Shelton, I'm single family production supervisor over in housing contract administration at KHC.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Kendrick Vonderschmidt. I'm the Managing Director of Corporate Planning and Accountability with KHC.
Okay.
Good morning. My name is Bridget Wash-Quarles. I'm in the multifamily department at Kentucky Housing Corporation.
Okay. Welcome. Anyone else?
Okay, Abdul is joining us right now.
Perfect. All right. Abdul, you on? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and say he's here.
Steve, we have Jennifer Smith being admitted.
Okay, good.
So we do have a quorum
Now we have a
then.
quorum. Excellent. All right. Well, let us go ahead and double back to the approval of the minutes, the meeting minutes that were held on first July the 27th of 2021. So we need to review those and get those approved. And then the January 25th meeting, the same conversation needs to be had. So let's go ahead and review the July 27th of last year's meeting. Does anybody have anything to add or any questions on those? Can I get a motion to approve those meetings as written?
Jimmy Higdon, motion.
Can I get a second?
Was there a second? I'm getting interference on my end.
I am too. We need a second for the motion to approve the minutes for July the 27th of 2021. Okay. Anybody can hear me out there? We need a second.
Abdul raised his hand, Steve.
Okay. All right. Use technology. Very good. So we have a motion for a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Or raise your hand. All opposed? Okay. We're going to assume the ayes have it, and therefore the motion has been approved. Next thing we'll look at is the January 25th of 2022. Take a look at those minutes for a second. Okay. Thank Carlos.
I'm sorry. This is Travis. Who sent the minutes? I'm trying to find in my emails where they were at. I'm just trying to. I can't remember who actually sent them out to us.
Well, mine are actually in the invitation. The appointment invitation. Yeah, it was a package that had a memorandum, then our agenda, and then the minutes for both of those meetings.
It would have come from Carla Hale, Travis.
Jimmy Higdon, motion to approve the minutes as emailed.
Okay. All right. And then can I get a second for the motion to approve the minutes for January the 25th of 2022?
I see a hand up, but I don't know whose hand it is.
This is Travis. I'll second.
Okay. Thanks, Travis.
Thank you, Travis, officially. All right. Any discussion? All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
Okay. All opposed? All right, the ayes have it. So moved, or so passes that motion to accept the minutes. All right, so now we bring our attention to the financial report and program allocations, and we'll get that report from Wendy Smith.
Hi, Steve. Actually, I'm going to take a couple minutes to walk through that report. Again, I failed to mention earlier, my name is Kay McAfee. I just joined KC about late March, coming from Louisville Metro Government. So today, I will be featuring
Abdul Muhammad
is now joining
of the program. And so we'll take a couple minutes to walk through the financial report and program allocation.
Okay.
Can
All right.
everyone actually see my screen? Thank you. Thanks again. Can everyone see my screen sharing? Okay, awesome. So we will start out looking at the Htf receipts. As you'll notice, the FY 2020 quarter, that the receipts continue to decline slowly quarter after quarter, but still remain above historic norms. I think recently it was reported for the 5th month in June that home sales have slightly declined, again due to inflation, high interest rates, and of course soaring home sale prices. Moving on to the next chart, here we see in general, the Htf cash balance is in a positive state relative to its undispersed commitment of $3.2 million uncommitted dollars. We have an additional $6.3 million in commitments to make with the FY 2020 allocation. Some of these grant agreements have been delayed, but the rounds did close earlier in the year in January for our single family programs. So those awards, those grants are being issued and working through our process. So you see here at the close of the quarter, our cash balance being close to about $15 million on the books, $11 million in outstanding commitments, and again, that 3.1 funds available and uncommitted. And as we look at our allocation plan for FY 23, after those FY 2022 commitments of around $6 million, we are forwarding a committed amount of $3.1 million. That does reference the $5 million forward balance of approximately 1 year of state funds. Again, we have around $15 million in AHT funds in our accounts at the moment. So that does display numbers that are consistent with our FY 23 allocation plan. And then looking at, again, the final chart we're showing here for FY 23, our allocations to home buyer development and home rehab and repair. AHTF will be the primary funder of home buyer, home rehab projects in FY 23. The ratio did slightly shift as home was allocated to multifamily instead for FY 23. And so you'll see that shift here in our allocation plan, again, consistent with what we show for our proposed use of these dollars. And so that closes out our financials. I'll hand it over to Bridget, who graciously will be presenting on our multifamily featured projects. Thanks a lot, Bridget.
Thank you, Kate. Now, do I drive or are you going to drive me on?
Yeah, I can certainly drive. No worries.
Great. Thank you. So we have 2 multifamily development projects that we featured here. We've got 2 different funding rounds. We have a non-credit and a tax credit. The first one is Shepard Ridge. It's in our tax credit round. Here's a couple of pictures of the unit. So Shepard Ridge is a new construction located in Florence, Boone County, Kentucky. It has 48 affordable units, 29 one-bedroom and 19 one-bedroom unit, and it's serving seniors. Here's a couple more pictures of the units. It has $748,800 in federal tax credits, and it has $300,000 in affordable housing trust fund and $200,000 in our home money as well. This next project is a project that is from our non-credit application round. It's a PH duplex, partnership housing duplex number 5. This is actually a series of at this time 5 different projects that Cassie Hudson has done. So there may be more. This is a new construction also in Owsley County and Booneville, Kentucky. It is part of a multi-phase project, affordable units that are serving family. Here's a couple more pictures of it as well. So this project, like I said, is in the non-credit. So it doesn't have any tax credit. It's $300,000 in affordable housing trust fund and $594.85 in home. And thank you.
And so next, Jessica will be talking about our next featured projects. Really excited to talk about this project with Habitat for Humanity and the Blitz, the week of the Blitz there in Western Kentucky. I'll drive again, Jessica.
Thanks, Kay. Good morning, everyone. I'm happy to be here. However, I was hoping to be on site, and as you can kind of tell from my blurred background, I am not. So I'm reporting live from Winchester, Kentucky. Sadly, we're still waiting on my quarantine to lift, so I'm stuck in the house. However, that does not stop the fun from happening in Western Kentucky. So Habitat Bowling Green, they are doing a blitz build this week. And so they will do 10 townhomes from foundation to dried in stage. So that's going to be quite the feat with the much needed rain that's hitting us right now. But we are really excited for this endeavor, and it's going to be a 5-day event raising 10 townhomes from foundation to dried-in stage. And these 10 townhomes are utilizing $400,000 of affordable housing trust funds. So the BG Strong initiative is working to restore the community from the December tornadoes. And as part of this work, Habitat Bowling Green's plan is to finish 10 townhomes in just 10 weeks. So we actually have staff there currently. So Curtis Stauffer is there today assisting with the build, and then KHC staff will be there Wednesday and Thursday as well. So here we have some pictures from the build site. So this was just day one. So this was yesterday. Curtis kind of snapped some pictures for me. So it's quite exciting. There's lots of volunteers. There's 800 volunteers this week. And they're still needing more. So if you're interested in volunteering, there's a link there, and I think I can probably put it in the chat as well so you can quickly access that. They're really needing some help for Thursday and Friday, just to kind of close out the week, and hopefully we'll get some dry weather. So additionally, we have another blitz build just around the corner, and that'll be in October. And this blitz build is for Habitat Pennyroyal. And so they're basically copy and pasting what Habitat Bowling Green is doing. So it's $400,000 AHTF funds for 10 single-family homes. So be on the lookout for another volunteer opportunity. And it's always great to get out there and kind of get your hands dirty. And see our hard work really come to fruition and get Kentuckians across the Commonwealth housed. So there we go.
Well, I went ahead and put that link in the chat box for everyone to reference. And again, that's for the Blitz. And you mentioned the next one. This one's in Bowling Green, and the upcoming opportunity is where?
It'll be Pennyroyal.
Pennyroyal. Okay.
Yeah. So still Western Kentucky. Thank you all so much.
So we are moving on to the portion of KHC updates.
Thanks, Kate. Yeah, I just wanted to, we often offer you all a handful of updates on where we are with many programs. I know I have focused for the last 2 years on COVID programs, and that will continue today. I just feel like it's important to let this committee, as well as our Housing Policy Advisory Committee, know about where we are with our different programs, and to make sure in case you all encounter folks in need that you know what we have to offer. So as you probably know, since February of 2021, we have been offering the Healthy at Home Eviction Relief Program. This is helps people with their back rent and forward rent and with past due utilities. And so just wanted to give you a couple of updates on that. In particular, we added Jefferson County to our service area in May of this year. Jefferson County and Fayette County, so Louisville and Lexington, each got their own emergency rental assistance COVID funding from Treasury. Louisville is out of all of their funds. They're also out of $54 million that we gave them of our dollars. And they asked us to take on their service area in May, and we did. That has greatly increased our volume, our customer service volume, all that kind of stuff. In addition, the Healthy at Home Eviction Relief Program began an eviction diversion program in February of this year. So this is kind of a subset of HHERF, and what it's focused on doing is fast tracking folks who are in the courts. So we have a handful of staff in 4 Kentucky courts. On the eviction docket days, we are working in partnership with Louisville staff who are in that court, and we expedite getting landlords paid who will agree to not evict if all back rent gets paid, and then we also pay 3 months of future rent. In some cases where a tenant is going to be evicted, which is the landlord's choice, and we don't have any power or desire to override that, we then offer what we call a relocation voucher to help that person get rehoused so they don't enter homelessness. A big aim of our program is to keep people housed, whether it's in the unit that they're in or in a new unit. So this has been a really good partnership with the Administrative Office of the Courts in Kentucky. We do data sharing with them so we can get eviction court docket data into our application system. And right now we're able to get those cases paid in 7 to 10 days. So it's not a long wait for the landlord to get that back rent paid in exchange for them, keeping a tenant housed and keeping people housed. We are really proud about that. It is a pilot, something we've never had funding to do this kind of work before. And so we're trying to ramp up fast and learn a lot of lessons quickly. So
Wendy,
yeah.
This is Travis.
Yeah.
Quick question. I was in another meeting and I was told that there is a pending ordinance in Louisville to try to force I know it's Louisville, but try to force Metro Council to try to force landlords to at least go through the eviction diversion program before they evict. Is that correct? Or have you heard
so
that?
I'm not sure, Travis, to be honest, because we are letting Louisville lead their eviction diversion efforts, and then we just back them up with fast tracking payments. So we're not leading their eviction diversion in Jefferson County. I just can't speak to it.
I was just curious if you'd heard of that any further. Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm. So in terms of our Healthy at Home Eviction Relief, our overall program, since February of 2021, we have gotten over $166 million out, primarily to landlords and to utilities in Kentucky. In some cases, we do pay a tenant directly if their landlord refuses to participate, but our first efforts are to ask the landlord to participate so we can keep the household housed. So the lion's share of that has gone to rent, and then a smaller share has gone to utilities. We have made almost 51,700 individual payments on behalf of nearly 38,000 households across the state. We have never done this work before 2021. So we continue to be proud of where we've gotten and how quickly we ramped up. And I can tell you that we are while we're not the lead state in terms of expenditures, we are a leader in terms of adopting flexibility, innovation, and trying new things. Our average assistance per household right now is $4,300 roughly, and we are currently at an average per month of over $10 million in assistance being paid out. So really significant assistance for the Commonwealth, and we still have funds available and expect to for a little while. The only thing I will share with you all is that we are currently in a conversation, that'll be my diplomatic way of putting it, with Treasury about their approach to wanting to potentially sweep funds from states like Kentucky and send it to other states. We are really performing well and have argued that we deserve to keep all of our funds because Kentuckians need it, and it really benefits and stabilizes our housing market at a time when rents are just skyrocketing. It's getting hard for low-income households to stay housed, and we are hearing from lots of cities and counties that they are worried about the availability of affordable units, in their communities. So I just want to make sure you all know about Healthy at Home eviction relief, because we still have funds available. You do not need to be in an eviction situation to get help. You only need to be in arrears. And it's a flexible program. Folks should apply if they are in arrears on their utilities and or rent. In addition, we have a program for homeowners, which is our Homeowner Assistance Fund. We've put the link in here, and Kay or Carla will make sure you all get this PowerPoint. But if you know a homeowner who has gotten behind on their mortgage, taxes, insurance, utilities, HOA fee during the pandemic because of something related to the pandemic, they also can get assistance through a program that we're administering on behalf of Treasury. So I just want to make sure you all know that we have help for renters as well as for homeowners. And I think that concludes my updates. And we just have some web links for resources in case you all know. We want to make sure our partners like you all know where they can go to get the information about what's available. Thank you.
Incredible job. Thanks, Wendy.
Yes, agreed. Great job. I did hear you said, now these are all funds that were originally allocated from the initial stimulus relief. Is this correct, or is this new monies that are coming from?
None of it's brand new, but Chair Coleman, it is from a couple different pieces of legislation, the CARES Act, and then there was a subsequent American Rescue Plan Act and something called CRISA. So it's all around COVID relief, but it came through a couple different buckets of legislation.
Gotcha. All right. Good deal. All right. Well, doing a great job with that, and obviously we want to continue that. If there's anything that we can do or any phone calls we can make, definitely let us know. So, because the money allocated for here needs to stay here for sure. That's the one thing that I took out of that for sure. We need to make sure it stays here. So, all right. Any other conversation about that topic? All right. Can you all still hear me?
We can.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. Okay. All right. So next order of business, I guess the question would have been, was there any new business first or other business or announcements? Does anybody have anything to add or share? Okay.
This
all
is,
right.
hi. Sorry,
Go
this
ahead.
is Adrienne Bush at the Homeless and Housing Coalition of Kentucky, and I apologize for being late, but I was literally presenting on another meeting.
Yeah. Okay.
I have something that is kind of in the works, and I don't know that you need to put it in the minutes, Carla, but I've had some interest from a couple of state legislators in revisiting the Affordable Housing Trust Fund and funding it, and specifically with an eye towards home repair and allowing folks to age in place, which KHC is already doing a good job with their resources. But if you would like to be part of that conversation, please feel free to let me know. I believe conversations will begin in earnest in August. And that's all I had.
Adrienne, I will just echo the need for that. Our home repair funds that are funded with AHTF are always oversubscribed. We could definitely use more funding in that area, particularly, I mean, for Western Kentucky, but really for all of the state. There are so many aging homeowners for whom $15,000 to $20,000 or so could really make the difference in them being able to stay housed in their unit.
Absolutely. And I think the key things that I am telling these legislators who are interested in this is A, don't create a brand new program, modify the Affordable Housing Trust Fund to meet the need, but also keep in mind that this is our most flexible source of housing production money in Kentucky, and we want to keep it that way. And also, if you expand it to scale to meet the additional need, like you're going to need to talk about administrative fees for KHC. So,
thank you.
Welcome.
This is off the subject on the subject, but doing a project in Clarksville, Indiana. And in Indiana, we can do pilots, and we did a pilot over there for that. But what they required for that in the state of Indiana, required Clarksville to set up a fund with the property taxes coming off the pilot for necessary home repairs, which I thought was extremely creative. So it just pushed it back to the town, the municipality to do exactly what you're talking about, because that is a very underfunded and needed mission, if you will, for lack of a better term. So anyways, something to kind of think about that I saw.
All right. Anyone else? Anything on the horizon?
I have one more thing, and that is I see my friend Chairman Higdon on the phone, and I just want to thank him for his work in with us on IDs for people experiencing homelessness. He got it pretty far in the last session, and we look forward to getting it passed in the 23 session. So just want to say hi and thank you, and give some public credit where credit is due.
There you go.
Thank you, and I'll continue to work on that. Sorry, I'm unsuccessful in getting that done this time.
No, we
we
got it farther than I thought we would. So I'm very pleased, and I feel very good about the 23 session.
All right. Anyone else? Last call. All right. All right. So next agenda item would be to confirm that our next meeting will be on January the 23rd of 2023.
I'm sorry. I thought, Wendy, I saw something on here that you were going to update what was going on in Western Kentucky with the tornado. And where the funds might go for that. I was really interested in hearing that.
Sure, I can tell you what I know. I don't know enough to have seen fit to do a bunch of slides on it, Travis, because so many things are up in the air. So here's where we are. We have had several conversations with the Department for Local Government, because all of the additional $75 million in community development block grant disaster recovery funds will go to the Department for Local Government. They have to do what has turned out to be, this is the first time we've done this, so they have to do a plan for HUD about the need, all that kind of stuff, and then how the funds might be allocated. And what we have talked with DLG about is that we would love, to the extent funds are going to go into housing, they don't have to flow the way that typical CDBG dollars flow. Typically, those funds have to go to a local government and then go to a project. With disaster recovery, a state agency can administer it, or a subrecipient like KHC could administer some of those funds, for the Department for Local Government. So it's all so loose right now, I can't give you the shape of it, but what we have talked about is we would love to funnel those dollars into funding rounds for multifamily and for single family, like repair or building, through our, the existing way that we do our work, but maybe it would be a notice of funds available specific to Western Kentucky, for multifamily, along with bonds or tax credits, similarly for single family houses. But because I don't have any like firm details. I don't know the shape of it, you know, the where and the when and all of that just yet. We've just had a bunch of conversations up to this point.
And I think that all makes sense. And I've been kind of hearing things along the same lines. My only concern about that would be with DLG and anytime you do CDBG, every municipality is only allowed one project at a time, and they have 2 years to close it. So if it ran through that, I like what your comment is about you know, not making it to where the you know, to where the grant, because that grant is tough. I've gotten that before, but to not making it to where it has to run through the municipality and everything, because they've got a lot going on. But they also have a lot of infrastructure issues going on as well. And it would scare me that we can only do one project at a time out of that municipality if you're Dawson Springs or you're Mayfield, Kentucky, or you're Bowling Green or wherever it is. And it would need, if it's going to run through DLG, I got no problem with that. If it's going to be, you know, community development block grant, I got no problem with that, because candidly, from an asset management perspective, they're not that bad. But more to the point is that initial application, they need action in multiple spots in their town. So to do that, I was talking to the mayor of Mayfield. I put her on a call, and she told me that before the tornado, that 50% of all of their population were renters, and that after the tornado, they are getting fantastic response in rebuilding the homes because of the insurance checks and things of that nature. But that most of the landlords took the insurance check and went on because it wasn't feasible from a cost analysis to rebuild their project. So she's lost all of those renters and their population, despite, you know, the candle factory and things like that bringing on new one. And I know Dawson Springs just signed a contract to bring on a bunch of new employers. So this need is real. I mean, I've talked to Sam and Jeremy about this, and I'm really disappointed that we have not addressed this faster, because we're 7 months into it, and I've been in Mayfield. I managed stuff in Mayfield. I drove through there. It is horrid what happened down there, and the fact that we're kind of sort of trying to figure it out, candidly, as an industry, I think it's disappointing. I think we need to make a move.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more. And I won't pretend like I'm an expert in the CDBG DR machinations, how that works with HUD. But HUD even said it will take you 120 days to even get your plan in. It's not built to run fast. I'm not making an excuse. I'm not in charge of it, so I can't make it go faster. We are very interested in coupling our funds with those dollars, because the gaps are going to be big. Right, a lot of the renters in the counties you're pointing to can't pay, a lot in rent. So there's going to be a big gap in the cost to bring it to market versus what the rents can bear out. We've got to have that CDBG subsidy along with, our dollars to make it work. In addition, just it might give you some comfort. I can't remember the percentage, but the lion's share of that disaster recovery CDBG money has to go into Hopkins County, Warren County, Graves County, and there might be a zip code in Breathitt County where it has to go. So just so you know, it will have to be more than one project at a time, because most of the dollars have to be concentrated in a couple of counties.
Okay, that's great stuff. And I'm not picking on everyone on this. I'm kind of screaming as many mountaintops as I can scream.
I feel you.
Because when you go through those towns, it is terrible. And the farther we get away from it, the harder it's going to be to get people to come back. And we took over a HUD project down there as a management, and right after it happened, it was actually supposed to close the Friday before, ironically, and it is, candidly, it's dilapidated. It's very, very, a lot of deferred maintenance on this thing. It needed to be sold, and it's gonna get a rehab. But people were knocking on that door, and this is not what I would want in my portfolio. But people were knocking on that door constantly, saying, "I just need somewhere. I got nowhere to go."
The only other thing I'll say is that the $75 million in CDBG DR, that is to cover the flooding in Eastern Kentucky in the spring of 21, as well as the tornado. And I'll be honest, I really don't, it sounds like a lot of money, but it really is not that much when you're talking. I think it covers 19 counties. Most of it has to go in a handful of counties, but one of the things that Kentucky Emergency Management has highlighted is that there may be a need to ask was a really quick allocation of these disaster recovery dollars. Usually an area waits a lot longer to get that money, but even still, and that's great, we're probably going to need more to rebuild, rental housing, single family housing, all of that in Western Kentucky.
No, and I'll shut up now. I agree. I mean, that gap is going to be real because those rents, that people don't do bond deals in Mayfield. That's a tough spot. So even a portfolio. So, and I think it's a cool idea. I think it's a great idea. I think it's the fastest way to go about it, and it's still a slow process. But at the same time, I hear you in every way. I just want to make sure that we're all banging on the drum because news changes every day, and it's easy to forget about what happened in December when we're already in July. But it's still very real.
Right.
All right. Okay. Anything else to update? Any more questions? All right. Again, getting back to our meeting, next meeting will be January the 23rd of 2023. As of now, we will plan on it being a Zoom meeting, but we will make every attempt to try to make it an in-person meeting. Unfortunately, this COVID thing's still here with us, and it rears its ugly head every now and then. And so, obviously, we want to stay safe and healthy as much as we can. But to reiterate, right now we'll plan on Zooming it. But if we can meet in person, we'll definitely let everybody know as we get closer to that time. With that being said, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
And do I have a second?
This is Travis. I'll second.
Okay, thank you very much. All in favor, say aye.
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 All right. Thank you, guys.